Hi guys, welcome to Limelight, where we shine a spotlight on the exciting world of e-commerce brands. I'm Aniket, the host of the podcast, and I'm also the founder of LimeChat. We help e-commerce brands sell and deliver exceptional experiences on WhatsApp. And today we have a very special guest with us, Brianna from Trueclassic. Everyone globally has heard about Trueclassic. They're one of the pioneering clothing and t-shirt brands across the globe, and they're known especially to be early adopters of new technology and of new ways to deliver great revenue and great experience. And Brianna has been the first employee at Trueclassic and has pioneered their customer experience strategy among many other things. So Brianna would love to hear from you about your journey and your introduction and how you ended up joining Trueclassic as well.
Yeah, hi everybody. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. I joined True Classic almost 4 years ago. It was in the heart of 2020 during a pandemic, and Nick, one of the co-founders, found me on I don't know, probably LinkedIn and reached out. I was really nervous because of just everything that we were seeing so early on with e-commerce and again during a pandemic. But once I met Ryan, Nick, and Matt, the co founders of True Classic, I instantly just had a connection with them and it felt right to take the leap. And I can honestly say it was definitely the best risk that I've taken to date. So, really happy to have been obviously employee number one, still thriving through ups and downs of our economy. And certainly, like you said, working to innovate our brand, constantly learning and taking risks.
Awesome. So, what did you do before True Classic, and what made you actually take that initial bet, especially during such an uncertain time like the pandemic?
Yes, yes. I was with another startup prior to True Classic, so I had dabbled in a few other startups where I built and scaled their CX departments. So that is exactly what Nick had, you know, inquired with me to see if I can come do for True Classic, which I was obviously very well equipped to do. So jumped right in, took that off their plates, scaled the team, obviously implored a ton of efficiencies and continue to press the envelope with what more innovative ideas and strategy and process could we do. So we definitely kind of hit the floor running. I had a few people from previous startups that I was at that came and joined me at True Classic, and they're still here to this day as well. And again, have really helped to support us take CX to a new level here.
That's really awesome, and like for us as well, we also started during the pandemic, and we realized that building the best team is actually one of the biggest things, one of the key things to grow quickly and to succeed. And you guys have done like an absolutely awesome job there. Like it's always really fun talking to anyone in the True Classic team.
Thank
Um,
you.
and that there is one aspect which you guys have done, which I see you guys doing very differently compared to other e-commerce brands, and that is customer experience.
Yeah.
Right, most brands think about customer experience as a kind of cost center, as like a necessary evil, but you guys, like True Classic, has a completely different mentality, and it's like building the best experience out there, building a Ritz Carlton experience, right? And I just wanted to understand your philosophy of what made you guys think about it in that way, and what kind of investments and steps did you guys take to build that kind of superior customer experience at True Classic?
Yeah, that's a great question. And honestly, one of the biggest things when I met with the guys was their ability to service the customer and their care. Obviously, they're co-founders. They bootstrapped this company, and they themselves were the voice behind the brand in so many different faucets. So me coming in and taking over the support side was really important to to Nick, for instance, that we did it right and that we didn't sacrifice any piece of that experience. And then on the flip side, managing social moderation and really representing the brand across social, really important to this day, of course, to Ryan, that we we are there, that we're representing the voice of our brand, and like you said, using Ryan's philosophy of Ritz Carlton level service. And the thing that worked so great with having me join the team is that's everything that I embody. So it really was easy for me to come in and just, again, advocate for our customers and advocate for our brand and really utilize every opportunity to make a connection more than anything, which you see us doing even outside of D2C or any space that we're in. You know, for us, it's more than just about selling shirts. It's about being there for our community, so it fits hand in hand with our brand. You know, we want to be that staple in everybody's wardrobe. That's essentially equivalent to like being part of the community, right? And making that affordable and attainable for most men is what, you know, the guys set out their mission to accomplish. So for us in coming here and building this CX, it really is just about putting our customer first, hearing the feedback, obviously implementing that across every touch point. Everything we do is centered around our customers. We do a ton of fielding and studies around just experience, what they're looking for, where they're coming from. And we want to make sure that we implement that across every opportunity, every conversation that we have. So it's been really easy because, you know, you just genuinely care. And like you talked about earlier, building a team that is full of people that are like-minded with you, that genuinely care, that love what they do, that want to make an impact in our industry. That's what we've done here. And so everything's just really fallen into place. Of course, you know, you have startup growing pains, and everything's happened really fast for us. But at the end of the day, our entire team jumps in because they care, because they want to advocate for our customers, because we want to make sure that there's no friction. You know, the last thing any company should want is to have something that's hindering a customer from purchasing with you, or you know, adding in costs for you to conduct your business. So it's been kind of a no-brainer on this side, and we've been really successful at it. And you know, the reality is we don't necessarily have to spend all of this money to provide an amazing experience, to connect with people on a personal level, to give back to your community, to just be there. So consistency is key. And again, having a team that really cares is going to make all the difference for you.
Awesome. So one big point as of your strategy is having that kind of culture in your company and in your team, that they really care about the customer experience end to end, to deliver that consistent experience across all touch points. Um, you also talked about like doing surveys to figure out where customers are coming from, and like how customer experience looks like. Like, can you tell me a bit more about how you understand your own customer experience from the customer's point of view? What kind of surveys do you actually run to get the best feel of it at such a huge scale?
Yeah, we do a ton of consumer surveys, which is so impactful across several different segments. That gives us such valuable insight on our consumer. Also, potential consumers, you know, where there are other aspects of the market that we can hit. But then internally, we do something that I think a lot of people miss, and that's just having organic conversation with our customers. So we'll generally reach out in a proactive approach to something that may have gone wrong in the experience, and most people don't expect that. They really don't. So, for example, if they leave us maybe a low product rating, we're going to proactively reach out and say, hey, what happened? Is there anything we can do to try to fix this? Even if our product's not meant for you, we don't want you to have any animosity with our brand. And we're more than willing to go above and beyond to just have organic conversation. That then gives us a ton of valuable insight, again, directly from the consumer on what's not working, what was their issue. And then you're able to take that and measure impact, right? Understand scale. Is this just a one off, or is there more of a broad issue that we have to deal with? So I think for us in the CX department, just that organic conversation in so many different faucets that we proactively work on that outreach makes a huge impact in understanding and providing a voice to our customers.
Got it. So a lot of it is about actually talking to customers and talking to the right customers, customers who have left that review, who have faced that pain point. So reaching out proactively, figuring out where their experiences, and then kind of empathizing with them and fixing it.
Absolutely.
Got it. That is that is actually a very fundamental thing, but it's again something that is beautifully executed. Mm. And I wanted to ask one thing about your team. Like most people, most brands that I see, they outsource their entire a lot of their CX function to external agencies, where those agencies end up talking to those customers, resolving their support queries, and so on. But you guys have made this conscious decision of keeping your CX team in house. So I was wondering, like, what led to that decision, and like how did you end up growing that team as well, as you scaled True Classic?
Yeah, so we do use a BPO for our kind of like first touch, um, but we don't see it like that. At the end of the day, we have our internal True Classic team that handles so many back end operational functionalities that most CX teams do not manage. But because we're so proactive in, again, advocating for our customers, these are again processes that we're proactive on, right? To make sure that we're hitting SLA and fulfillment, to make sure that we're monitoring inventory health. All of these, again, back end operational aspects that most CX departments do not necessarily sit within. But because I am so passionate about our customer journey, I want to make sure that those of us that have the most capable aspects of the customer journey and know it inside and out, that also know our product inside and out, that we're representing the, again, proactive journey and approach, and making sure that, but we know of a problem before we're presented with a customer coming into the queues and complaining, right? So with that, this team has evolved, and they also handle all of like an escalation type volume, which is pretty minimal, but anything that gets escalated. So we do use an amazing partner that we recently signed on with just this year, and they have allowed us to help scale our team. And again, I don't see them, and don't like to, reference them as a third party or a BPO, because they are essentially an extension of us, and we treat them very, very much as such. Meaning, we're going to allow them to make all of the necessary decisions that they need to make in a conversation with a customer, and really empower them to make an impact. Having that culture and allowing, that sense of empowerment really makes a difference, because I've worked with organizations where it is that arm length, distance, and it feels very broken. I'm sure you've had experiences with retailers that you're purchasing from, and you can tell they have to escalate it, and it's going God knows where, and there's just a huge disconnect. And one of the things that we really strive here at True Classic, whether you're, working directly for True Classic or you're a partner of ours, is that culture, that embodiment, that education of our brand and everything that we encompass here, which really is about putting our customers first and allowing our team a voice. That's another aspect I think many businesses do wrong, is they're not advocating for their employees. They're not advocating for their team. They're not hearing what these people are dealing with day in and day out. And we're not like that. We're the complete opposite. We do surveys from our team. We're measuring the feedback that we're getting, understanding impact. So again, there is this kind of like oftentimes a disconnect between support and when you do potentially use a third party. We, however, do not have that whatsoever. Like, they are, again, part of our team. We meet with them regularly. We have hangout sessions where we're, connecting. We talk about our families together. So again, they are 100% True Classic all the way.
Awesome. That's really crazy. So like someone, you have someone who's actually a third party, but you connect with them at that level, that they are essentially a part of your team. You
100%.
empathize with them, you make them happy. And you mentioned this thing about big retailers, and I have definitely faced that experience where I am on a call, I am hearing a dial tone for 30 minutes, and
Right?
still I have not gotten a resolution. Like somebody replies to an email 72 hours later, and like
Yes.
it's absolutely horrible.
Yes.
And that is how it ends up happening, where there are just like the secret to prevent that at scale is to actually connect with to make your CX team also a full-fledged part of your company,
Yep.
and to kind of keep them happy and listen to them as well.
And listen to them. Yeah. Giving them a voice is really, really impactful. And it's been so beneficial for us to partner with this company because we are international. And so very early on, we've been able to provide 7 days a week, 24 hours support. And that is essentially a huge goal of ours because if a customer is on your site and they're shopping at whatever time of day or night, you want to be there because that's a potential acquisition. And so we need to make sure that we're readily available. If somebody had an issue with their order and it's, potentially middle of the night here in the US, we've got an international team that's available to help support them, which is a huge impact. I cannot tell you how often we get feedback on, I did not expect a response on a Sunday night. I'm in France or whatever the story is. So it's time and time again, we're making an impact on that customer journey because we're being available. And so that's been huge with us. And we certainly appreciate our partnership and our amazing team that's literally working day and night to be wherever we need to be for our customers.
And your so your mindset itself to customer service and customer experience is different. That those are actually customers looking to buy from you. It is like almost an acquisition channel, right?
Yep.
And keeping those customers happy will actually lead to revenue directly, right?
Right.
And that is something which might not even be measurable, but we know for sure that that is happening. Those are the customers who are reaching out to you, and those are the ones who will eventually buy. And
Right.
uh, that is a great mindset to have. That will automatically align, like that will actually highlight the importance of customer experience and customer success within the company as well.
Right.
um, I wanted to talk to you about international markets and giving 24/7 experience as well. Because I think once you scaled outside the US, you guys started out in various international markets, and now like more than a third of your revenue comes from international markets alone. So, how do you? So now your problem is much more difficult than before. Like, not just giving a 24/7 experience within the US, but handling all of these various different geographies with different time zones, different products and currencies, and maybe different kinds of customer expectations as well. Right. So,
Right.
how did you set up your team to handle all of this complexity as you scaled?
It has not been easy. We have some amazing, amazing partners that have joined our organization and are really working day and night to understand the complexities of international. We have recently just scaled to open local fulfillment centers overseas, which was really exciting. And we did that in record time. And it's really just about all of our stakeholders in the company coming together and working really fast, which is what we do here. It's one of our core values is move fast. And we did so because we knew how impactful it would make it on that customer journey, right? Being able to get our product in our customers' hands that much quicker was such a top priority for us, and we were able to pull that off during Q4 of this season, which is, as you know, historically crazy times. But just thinking
Yes.
about the journey and understanding the complexities, understanding the pain points of shipping when we are shipping from the US and it has to take its journey internationally. We want to be proactive in that communication. Look, it may take us longer to get you the shipment, but here are the updates. Here's what's happening. Really having a proactive communication and expectation set so that way the customer understands. in certain situations when it may take, up to 9 days for them to get the package, at least they know each step of the way it's coming. They don't then tend to feel like, was this a scam? And again, just really earning that trust from them is so pivotal for us. And I think, we did so much this year with translations, paid ads, doing translated paid ads across international markets was really exciting to see how our international consumers responded to that. So again, we're constantly pushing the envelope of where do we need to be, where do we need to pivot so that we can service our international market, because it is obviously, like you said, so lucrative for us, and we certainly want to make sure that we adjust and we provide every level of experience needed in order to make sure to give them something that they're not, expecting, always going above and beyond.
Awesome. I am super excited about the local fulfillment centers because I had ordered from True Classic as well around 6 months back the pack of teas, and I loved the emails which were the proactive emails which I got, but it did take like almost like 1 or 2 weeks because of the whole shipping journey, right,
Yes.
to actually reach me. And like if
Yes.
it could reach much quicker, that would be awesome.
Yes,
And
we're
it's
we're
great how you
there,
guys move so fast to get this done. Like
right? I mean,
awesome.
you probably remember
Um,
when we
what?
went, sorry, when we
Yeah.
went live with you guys, it was like really fast. Like we get an idea, we get really
Yes.
excited and passionate about it, and we want to be there. So certainly that's what we've been known for.
Yes, that having that as a core value, I think that is the thing that kind of gets it done. I guess when you scale, when each and every person is thinking about getting that experiment done very quickly. And
Yes.
yeah, I definitely saw it when you were working with us. Um, and I actually wanted to ask about that you already had this whole system of communication set up over email or SMS, right, where you were already communicating with customers. So what made you like even think about WhatsApp and take a bet on WhatsApp as a channel as a whole?
Yeah, so we just knew that WhatsApp was such a strong communication lever for international consumers. And again, with our brand, we're always trying to understand where do we need to be. So even from like a phone perspective, right? Many brands think, "Oh, I don't need to provide phone support. It's kind of archaic, it's outdated." But the reality is if there's even one consumer that wants to reach us by phone, then we want to be there. For WhatsApp, it was so awesome because number one, it's a great lever of communication for international people, but also it allowed us the leverage to market, which you can't generally do across,
Yes.
other areas as efficiently and as easy as your mobile device and getting a notification and having kind of like organic conversation. So that was what made us so intrigued by WhatsApp, is how we can reach our international consumers in a really easy way without having to send them SMS, which we know is costly. So, when we originally started to build it, we did kind of like outreach and sales, and then we made it to where they were getting all of our typical push notifications as far as like your shipping confirmation, abandoned cart, and people responded so well to it that we just then again quickly scaled it, and it's been really amazing to watch and see.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And like outside the US, like in UK and in Europe and Germany, in India especially, like 90% of the people use WhatsApp. It's almost like how I messages in the US. Like everybody talks to each other on WhatsApp, and if you can kind of like you said, if even one customer is using it, and especially if 90% of the people are using it, then being there to listen to them, to proactively communicate with them, to market to them, right, all of that
Yeah.
is like a huge opportunity which right now people are like brands are starting to leverage. And for us, like when we actually started marketing on WhatsApp, brands usually got so excited that they want after seeing the results that they wanted to do as much as possible on
Yeah.
WhatsApp. And so the problem that we have to solve is how do you market on WhatsApp without like spamming or irritating the customer, like because of course it is a personal channel, and if you get too many messages, it's not going to be a great experience. And
Yeah.
so how can you keep it interactive? How can you like understand the customer, rather than just kind of bombarding stuff at them, right? I think those were very key areas to make WhatsApp very effective as a channel.
Yes.
um,
Yeah,
because
I
if you just
agree.
use it like email, if you just send out a message, it's very hard.
Yes, yeah. And we did that. We definitely had growing pains in the beginning where we had to learn which regions were responding better to it. We had a lot of people saying, how are you reaching me on here? And it really caught people by surprise. And
Yes.
initially, I think they were probably a little nervous, and then quickly just they latched on and thought, oh wow, this is cool, like they're leveraging this to communicate with me. We even have it on our contact us page of you can proactively hit us up on WhatsApp. And I think that again is just another lever of a support channel that allows people to reach us instantly. I mean, our WhatsApp ticket counts far exceed even SMS. So I think that is just proof in itself that people internationally are responding really, really well to that channel of communication.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when somebody sees it for the first time, they get a little bit surprised. But when they actually see that they can message a brand about their problem, they can get the latest deals there, they can get some communication about their order shipping, it's just 10x better than anything else that they're seeing,
Yeah.
right? Especially in any of these regions, in Europe and in Asia. And that is the main magic, that once customers have experienced it for the first time, there is no going back for them. Then they would just prefer to talk to you there and get some instant support right away.
Yes. Yes. And it's about
um,
convenience. You
and
know,
that is the thing which excites me as well. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I think in today's day and age and everything that we saw during the pandemic is we've got to make things convenient for people and kind of like thoughtless, just ease of use. And so I think WhatsApp really allows us to
Yeah.
leverage that.
Awesome. I had one more question for you because we are on this topic, and there are a lot of exciting trends which are happening around AI as well. Like ChatGPT has been again one of the biggest news items continuously over the past year, and for the first time after ChatGPT came, we saw that 10x experience. We saw how an automated agent can give a human level experience, and I remember 1 year back, like everyone thought there is no way that I can talk to an AI and it is going to actually solve my problem. People thought, oh, that is a bot. It is just going to irritate me. But over the last year, after talking to using GPT and talking to Chat GPT, people's minds have changed. People are gradually more and more receptive towards AI. And I know that you guys are early adopters at everything, right? You guys have definitely used AI for your experience, and I would love to understand how you guys, well, how your journey started with AI in scaling your experience and using it throughout your CX journey.
Yeah, it's been really exciting, just the whole journey of AI. We started on it um, probably a year ago around this time, and I really wanted to understand. I was trying to solve for two things, but one of which was how can I automate in an aspect of like it's not just rule based, because rule based what we were finding was it was triggering incorrectly. So I really wanted to try to challenge myself, who's somebody that's really passionate about organic conversation and that customer journey. How can I challenge myself to see, is there a way that we can automate these conversations using AI and not sacrifice the quality of the conversation? And so it was, huge journey, a huge undertaking. And I met with a company called Zowie, and we started these conversations, and I was contemplating using um, their chat bot, so to speak. And I again was one of those consumers where I could not stand a chatbot experience because it's like, I'm sorry, I did not understand your question. Or here are the options, and you're like, that's not what I want. So that is the least of my goal. I did not want to provide some chatbot experience that you just cannot get out of. So I started these conversations with Zowie last year, and I thought they were such an amazing partner because they had already been in the space. I mean, the name Zowie has a symbol for AI in it. So they've already been in this space. Again, they're an international company, so they're just definitely far more advanced than where we were in the US. And it gave me assurances that okay, if we're going to do this, I have confidence that we're working with a partner that knows the space really well and we're not going to get it wrong. So sure enough, we were able to really build that out. And then, later this year when generative AI came out, we're and honestly, like week after week, we're continuing to improve it. And my goal always has been since the beginning to make an experience feel as though you're talking to one of us, because the reality is it should mirror the same experience. We're teaching AI all about our brand, our voice, our care essentially to the consumer. And there's certain situations that AI can say, okay, I'm not a fit for you, I'm passing you over to an agent. And we're really proactive in understanding the intent. And like I said, partnering with Zowie has really allowed us to build that and understand, you know, AI is not going to get it right 100% of the time. I think this we've come to know, but we can really, really leverage it and teach it and continue to make it better. And we've seen that. We've seen that during this peak season, we were automating over 80% of our volume, deflecting close to 50%. Deflecting meaning an agent never touched the ticket. Like I didn't have to scale a support team. Like these are the things that, companies can be so much more cognizant of. And never once did we sacrifice that experience. And trust me, I'm measuring that experience. I'm measuring CSAT, human interaction versus AI, to make sure that we're not falling short. And it's surprising. I that those CSATs and that feedback is really telling us, okay, we're doing this right. We're on the right path. People are responding well to it, just like the WhatsApp conversation, right? Initially, people are like, wait a minute. And then they get into the experience and understand like this isn't an effort to, again, ease of use. We're trying to make this as easy as possible for you. My goal and the biggest impact of CSAT, which I think is probably the number one KPI, how quickly do I get back to you? How quickly do I solve your problem? AI has allowed us to cut down on those KPIs significantly versus waiting on an agent. And it doesn't mean we're taking away from our agents at all whatsoever. It means that we're able to take the conversations that our agents have and make them that much more impactful. So our agents can sell, can connect. When things go wrong, our agents can earn back that trust, right? But on super simple, easy things, which is a huge amount of your volume, where's my order? AI can handle that for us. How do I do a return? AI can handle that for us and still give you the experience to where you don't know if it's AI or if it is an agent on the other end.
So you're seeing that all the kind of basic repetitive queries, at least, um, and maybe some complex ones, you are actually able to automate them end to end without AI, without an agent coming in the picture, and you're able to see that your customers are giving a similar CSAT as well for those conversations, for the human conversations and the AI conversations. So that is how you know that you can actually scale and you can take this across all your channels and all your experiences,
Yep,
and then your agents can focus on doing more productive work and much better customer conversations uh,
exactly.
than than what normally happens. Got it. Awesome. Like that is like the perfect use of AI, and that is I believe that is how it will look like 1 year from now. Like nobody will be able to distinguish if they're talking to an AI or a human
Right.
at the back end. Oh, wanted to ask you about Black Friday as well. Like Black Friday just happened around 2 weeks back, and I'm sure you guys might have seen an awesome result as well as an insane load on your CX, right? And that would have been a huge peak. So, what did you do to prepare for Black Friday as a company, both on the revenue front and on the CX front, and like how did it end up going for you guys?
Yeah, it was really, really good. I think all year, we quote unquote practiced in prep for Black Friday. So we knew going in what our strategy was going to be because we tested it throughout the year. So we knew what was going to work, how we're going to get the best conversion. So certainly sales were very successful. We were pleasantly surprised. This Black Friday, I think any company can agree is, our Super Bowl, our what I call to the CX team, our marathon that we train for, because for many departments, it's an event. It happens over a couple days, and okay, great, everything's done and wonderful. But for CX, there's prep, there's obviously so much that goes into preparing, whether it's educating the team, creating your responses, creating your process, your contingency plans. There's so much of that happens up front. Then you're in the thick of the promotion, which there's going to be questions, customer education, troubleshooting, whatever the situation may be. And then you have the aftermath of where's my order and returns. So for support, it's really a marathon. And we train day in and day out, 365 days a year to live in that moment. So I have always been of the mindset that we prep and we get ourselves in a really great position so that there's no worry, right? We've been around long enough to know to expect the unexpected because that's generally when it's going to pop up. I remember last year, Black Friday, we like something happened with Meta and we 100% lost like our connection and it went down and it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy and something that we did not expect to see. I am constantly thinking through what is the worst case scenario and let's plan for it so that we can have a contingency plan because then we know, okay, turn on the contingency lever and then, we can troubleshoot and try to fix something. So this Black Friday really went off without a hitch. Knock on wood. We didn't run into very many issues that we had seen. And again, this comes with experience. Most people cannot walk into a Black Friday and have everything fall into place. But because we have such strong stakeholders that have been around and can say, okay, what if this happens? What's our plan? Okay, what and this, what's our plan? So again, really strategic. We have the strongest team that just comes together and literally we had all hands on deck, when inventory was depleting quicker than we had expected. What's our contingency plan? Let's turn on the lever. So again, very successful Black Friday. So happy with everybody's performance on the team level. Support is obviously still dealing with the aftermath. They will all the way through probably January, February when we're dealing with returns. But again, this is the kind of stuff that we train for, and it's exciting. It's exciting to watch the performance and to see that none of our KPIs are sacrificed. We have incredible response times when you're emailing these giant retailers and they're telling you they're on a 72-hour return window, or like they'll get back to you in 72 hours. I'm thinking sometimes they'll say a week, and it's just mind-blowing to me thinking of how tight and small our team is, that we're that efficient, that we're on, again, unprecedented response times, despite volume. I mean, we expect the volume, but again, using automation has really helped us this year to not have to scale for, generally you have like a seasonal support team. We didn't have to do that. We didn't have to turn on any of those levers because we were so proactive in our preparation. So very, very successful Black Friday.
That's a really awesome mindset of thinking about it like a marathon and then training for it constantly throughout the year, and anticipating all the things that could go wrong. And I was very very curious about that. Like, what kind of things have you seen going wrong, like during a sale
Oh my
period or
gosh.
during any of the previous Black Fridays, and what do you guys do to actually train for something like that?
Yeah, I mean, for support, and again, these are levers that typical support teams don't deal with, but we do. Inventory shortages is always an issue because you have so many orders coming in. So we're always really proactive on how are we going to address inventory shortages, and be, again, very efficient. So we've worked through years where we've had to, I can't tell you, working off of spreadsheets, like manual spreadsheets back in the day, of taking all of these short orders and trying to split them between other fulfillment centers, and just, it was horrible. And getting to a place now where we have kind of like an automated game plan in place. The depletion of like a really great selling product, you have to be proactive on, like, okay, when that depletes and sales are done, what are we flipping to, right? What's next? What can we prepare and make sure that we don't skip a beat, we don't lose any momentum, and we have another game plan. So again, just really strategizing, and like I said, we compare it to training, like training for a marathon, which we prep for all year long.
I had a question for you as well, like about your journey, right, over the last almost 4 years at True Classic. Like you would have seen this insane growth and a lot of challenges along the way. You would have had to adapt a lot, like to various scales, right, of revenue and of CX. So how did you go through all this? Like, how did you train yourself for this, how or to manage this entire growth? Like, did you already have the experience to handle this kind of growth, or did this was this something that you learned along the way as the company scaled?
Yeah, no, it was definitely a trial, or what is it, baptized by fire. So meaning we learned as we were going, and the I think my strongest asset is my background, right? So being in support, you know that you have to be fluid, you have to be able to maneuver and change and adapt and accept. The reality is support teams are fixing, or answering for most issues that they didn't create themselves. So you have to be solution oriented. And I think that has allowed me to go into everything with that level set of, okay, it's going to be a challenge. There's always going to be a challenge. If there wasn't challenge, we wouldn't be growing, we wouldn't be learning. So that's okay. I've always been really, really open and receptive to change. And we take it and we figure out a way. And a lot of people and a lot of partners that work with me, they know that, like, I just don't accept the word no, we can't do that, or this isn't going to work. I'm constantly challenging myself, my team, partners, like, well, let's find a way. Like, even if there's not a way right now, like, we can build a way. And I think having that innovative mindset and that determination to figure it out is what's allowed us and our entire company to scale again at historical records. Is we're not afraid to take risks, we're not afraid to fail, it's going to happen. We accept that there's going to be challenges, and we're all ready and willing to find a solution, to pivot as needed. And I think that, at the end of the day, has certainly made the biggest impact on all of us being able to scale so quickly, not get burnt out, obviously, but continue to feel inspired and motivated. That, like, I remember thinking back one year and going, wow, like, I never thought in a million years we would be here. Last year we were opening 5 retail locations. I think it was in probably Q4 too. And I remember thinking, wow, that's crazy. Amazon, we never thought Amazon was going to be for True Classic. And here we are, scaling the hell out of Amazon. Opening our own stores this year, 3 in 30 days. Like, again, just, it really invigorates me to think, like, the sky's the limit. There's so much opportunity out there, and we all feel so blessed that we are put in this position that, like, I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to stop trying to innovate, trying to see what's next. Like, again, just inspiration. Like, it's never ending as far as I'm concerned.
Awesome. That whole mindset is really inspiring about being constantly open to change, not taking no for an answer. Right. That is completely underrated,
Yeah.
and that is a very very great mindset to have, especially if you are taking very early bets, like you've done in the international markets and on WhatsApp. and um, and I actually wanted to end along those lines. I wanted to get a sense from you about how WhatsApp has been for you as a growth and an experience channel over the last year, and what do you expect from WhatsApp also as a channel in the next 1 or 2 years?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to scaling kind of like the mindset of WhatsApp across other countries that maybe aren't in it right now, even the US. Like, really interested to see how we can push that, how we can show people what an amazing channel is that might not necessarily be used to it right now. I'm also excited to use WhatsApp in more of a conversational sales function. Um, Kind of pushing the envelope on how could we make shopping more convenient for people. We're already doing a really good job at it right now, but again, wanting to put more of an experience behind that, looking at low engaged users and seeing if we could push the envelope and try to have organic conversations with them to try to leverage that channel again of convenience and obviously just a really easy place to reach us. So sky's the limit. There's so much opportunity out there. We're ready to try it all, be wherever we need to be, and continue to just scale this thing.
Had a really great time talking to you, Brianna, and understanding your strategies of scaling customer experience and making that a core function area and a core focus area for a company, and also about your mindset of building teams and of managing growth of yourself. So for me, it has been a super informative session, and and I hope everyone in our audience would have absolutely loved the insights which you have shared as well.
Thank you.
So that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for taking the time to watch this episode, and stay tuned for more updates on insights on e-commerce globally. Thank you.